Hi, everyone. I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. This is your weekly reading where we talk all about what is happening in the cosmos, what is happening in the energy that is swirling all around us, that is impacting the way that you're thinking, feeling, experiencing your life. Because so many of the people who watch these videos are people who are sensitive to these energies. So it's helpful to have a sense of what is going on to help you to understand the things that you're feeling, but most importantly, to help you to understand how you can make the most of the energy that we have presented for us this week. So, first of all, let me know how you guys are feeling. We're going to be breaking down what I'm feeling in this energy, what messages I have connected with around this energy. And then we are going to build on the messages with a tarot reading where we double down on some of those messages or we help you to understand some of these things more. Make sure you stick around to the end because the tarot reading aspect of it is really important. It really helps to close out all of the messages and to help you to understand on a deeper level. So, let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know what you're feeling. Did you guys feel I'm filming this on the 17th. Did you feel that solar eclipse happening for us? Here in the Eastern time zone, we felt that here pretty early this morning. And I was very aware. I'm always really aware when an eclipse is happening because it's very obvious. I feel it very physically in my body. So I get how I experience it. We all experience things differently, but how I experience is I had all of a sudden, like, I felt really electrified. In fact, I woke up at 4 a.m. all on my own, just totally wide awake. So I just got up. And so I started to feel that energy coming in, and then it feels very electrified. It makes me feel a little bit like heart fluttery, I guess is a good way to describe it. And like there's just energy surging throughout my body. And it does, if I didn't know better, it does feel a little bit like what some people might call a feeling of anxiety, but that's not how I frame that. That's not how I perceive that because I understand that so much of the things that we feel are better explained by energy. So, did you guys feel something early this morning? I think it peaked at like 7:30ish, but I was feeling it, as I said, 4 a.m. up early, Eastern time zone, just like feeling all of that. And I could feel the buildup of that. But now we have had this solar eclipse happening on the Lunar New Year. Happy New Year to all of you. Now that we have had this happen, eclipses always occur together, right? So we have the solar eclipse, and then we will have that lunar eclipse. We'll be closing out what we call an eclipse portal, which is that time period in between the two eclipses that will be closing out with the full lunar eclipse that's happening on March 3rd. It is happening at 3:33 a.m. I believe it's Pacific time, which is pretty cool. Actually, like the fact that it's 3:33, that to me, like all those angel numbers, March 3rd, which is 3-3, and then 3:33, there's something to it, there's something magical about this one. And eclipses are always about destiny. They're always about an opportunity to move us to where we're meant to be. So, what I want you to keep in mind, especially during this 2-week period of time, is to allow yourself to be moved and to be led where you need to be. This is not the time to try to control anything. Because what happens is, like, when we try to control things, is we can actually when we're trying to force an outcome, we can actually block ourselves from receiving the blessings that are wanting to come through. We can actually block the energy, slow down our journey, slow down our progress, slow down the path that's wanting to happen for us. So, what we want to be doing is making sure that we're allowing what wants to unfold to unfold. So, if something is clearing its way out of our lives, we want it to allow that. If something already has cleared its way out of our lives, we want to allow that and to do our best to let go and move forward with our lives, trusting that nothing that's truly ours is ever really lost. And if that something is meant to come back into our experience at some point, it will. And if it's not, it won't. So there's a lot of trust and faith involved in this energy here to allow it to happen. But I also think about eclipse portals as like surprise portals, right? They're opportunities for the universe, for God, whatever you want to call that, to surprise us, to show up and to show us where we're meant to be, what we're meant to be doing, and who we're meant to be doing it with. And so your job right now is to pay attention, like let it unfold and to let yourself be shown. Watch it all as though you're watching a movie of your life and paying attention and looking for this foreshadowing in the story. Like what is the foreshadowing that's happening that if you're reading a book or you're watching a movie, you would pick up on that and you would go, that's important. I don't know why yet, but I know that's important. Look for that. Look for things unfolding in surprising ways, in ways that you're not expecting. Expect the unexpected, but notice it all and know that it's all happening for us. And notice the way that the process is happening. Notice the insights that you have coming through. Notice the actions that you're feeling called to take, because now that we have entered today, this year of the fire horse, we're ready to go. Now, I will say too, we're going to be slowed down a little bit as we get toward the end of the month because we have that Mercury retrograde creeping in next week on the 26th. So that will slow us down a little bit, but I really feel like that's a very intentional slowdown to get us all ready to just go full speed ahead with the things that we're meant to be going full speed ahead with. So these eclipses are meant to get us on that track. If we're thinking about the horse, right? We want to get our horse on the right track to be able to run where he or she needs to go and to get there as quickly as possible with the fewest barriers, the fewest blockages, so that he can get to his destiny. Because eclipses are all about fate. They're all about destiny and bringing us into who we're meant to be and what we're meant to do. So do not fight against the way that things are happening right now. You are just wasting your energy. I think this is a good time this week to reflect on, in this new lunar year, what am I inviting into my experience at this time? And making sure that you're put that, oh, hi, Jesse, nice to see you. Hi, Barbara, nice to see you here. So what am I inviting into my experience right now? What do I want this to look like? Setting some intentions around that. We've already focused on what am I letting go of, although you may find in this eclipse portal that you're still identifying things that you're letting go of. But I think that this energy is going to support that for us and is going to help us with that. So let yourself go where you are being guided and take action in those places that you are being guided. You're going to know. And by the way, you might not always like where you're being guided. You might have questions. You might be like, wait a minute, God, wait a minute, universe, what's this? Because this is not what I expected. And this is not what I asked for. And like WTF, right? There's a lot of WTF moments that happen in eclipse portals, but allow it anyway. Because there's amazing magic when you let yourself be led through these experiences. It's all about allowing it to all unfold the way that it's meant to for you and also for the people in your world. And when we just let ourselves go with that flow, it leads us really powerfully and, quite frankly, quickly to where we're meant to be. This has been a time, the past several months, of truth. And understanding truth on a collective level. Look at all the truth that is coming out now. There's a lot more of that to come, but there's a lot of truth that's happening for us in our personal worlds as well. It's truth about yourself. It's truth about what you think and what you feel and who you are now, because you're not the same person that you were before. And it's truth of knowing our circumstances, truth of knowing what we need to do, truth of seeing people or situations for what they are and being able to respond accordingly. Again, even if it's a truth that you don't like, because it is happening for you. So some of the WTF moments might be truth, and a truth that you don't like, but know that, again, that's happening for you. I think as we move forward into this week, this year, more and more we're letting go of the past. And you're going to feel compelled to do it. I feel that really strong urge to say, you know what? It is what it is. And I choose to let go. And I trust that whatever is meant for me, whatever is destined for me is coming in, because I know what this energy is. And so it's a choice to say, I choose to let go. And you might have to say that over and over and over again, because our monkey minds kind of try to go back into rethinking about that, refocusing on that. But I think we've already done a lot of reflecting, and we've got some more reflecting to do during this eclipse, but especially as we move into that Mercury retrograde. So save some of that for that, and let yourself understand yourself better through this experience, and do our best to let go. And if we can, even forgive. Like I believe that forgiveness is a process, but I also believe that forgiveness is a choice. And sometimes that forgiveness is about setting ourselves free through making that choice. And we might have to make it again and again and again, but again, it's setting us free, and it's important. I feel in this week that we're going to be building a momentum as we build up to that lunar eclipse that we'll have coming in on March 3rd. So we're going to feel that this week. We're probably going to feel that next week. And it's all coming to a conclusion. So allow it. It might feel like it's boiling, it's bubbling. There's a lot bubbling. You might already feel that bubbling underneath the surface. There's a real karmic rebalancing that's happening. So you might find that things that you have invested your time, your energy, your focus on in the past, I think a lot of that is coming back to us now. So if you've invested in things that didn't really seem to go anywhere, I think we're going to see the return on some of that happening now. I think that we are going to watch justice be served in situations where we would like to see justice be served, or even if we don't get to witness it, trusting that justice is being served in situations as well, and knowing that karma always comes back around, and karma will always take care of it, which is exactly why you don't need to take care of it. Because if you try to take care of it, you try to respond in the same energy, in the same shitty energy that someone else treated you with, then all of a sudden you've got that on your karma. And that's not what you want. This is about moving forward, letting go, and creating positive karma for ourselves. So I think a lot of you have been doing some amazing work, and you're going to see the reward for the effort, the energy, the faith that you've been putting out there, the kindness that you've been putting out there, the seeds that you have planted. And by the way, this energy is very much about planting seeds, but it's planting seeds and trusting in them to grow. What's that quote? Like, don't dig up in fear what you planted in faith. Right now we're planting in faith. And we want to make sure that we're not checking on those seeds all the time, that we're not over and over, like that we just know it's already done. I've been listening to a lot of Neville Goddard stuff, and he talks a lot about that. Like, it's already done. Like, put it out there, know that it's already manifested. It's already done. You've already created it, right? So you've already planted those seeds, or you're in the process of planting those seeds. And when those seeds are planted, of course, you have to nurture them, water them, give them sunlight, give them the things that they need, right? But don't dig them up, don't check them and destroy the progress of what's happening. It's about planting seeds rather than forcing action. Forcing action will not serve you in this energy, really ever, but especially in this energy. So don't do that. And you're going to find that vision is starting to come through. You're starting to see the vision of something. You're starting to understand where something needs to go or something that you need to do or to see things from new perspectives. I think there's a lot of new perspectives that were being offered here in this energy. So as that comes through, your job now that we've shifted is to start to build a structure around that, to start to lay down the foundation, to lay the groundwork for that. And it might be you just become aware of an action that you need to take. We don't need to overthink this, and we don't have to see the whole building that we're creating, right? We just need to build the foundation right now. And we do that through taking inspired action where we feel called. When we have the clarity, we take action, or when we have the vision, we start to ask ourselves, what is this? What's the first step that I can take? So this isn't about 20 steps. This is about the first step. And once we've nailed that, we wait for further instructions and we take the next step and then the next step and the next. Before we know it, we've built something really incredible. Right. And some of those steps are simply in choosing to plant seeds in some way, to take a step and to then trust that it is growing and developing. And when you need to nurture those seeds, you will be shown, and you will be shown how to nurture those seeds, trusting all of that. There's a lot this week, I feel like, around communication. And keep in mind, we do have Mercury retrograde looming. We are in the pre-shadow for that, and that can definitely interfere with communication. But I think there's opportunities for healing communication. I think there's opportunities for healing relationships this week. So if part of what you're feeling compelled to do is to have these conversations or to express your truth, to reach out and connect in some way, I think this is a good time to do that. From the perspective of kind communication, respectful communication, like I heard when I was writing this down, speak your truth with grace, right? So it isn't just about speaking your truth and being an asshole about it, right? This is about speaking your truth with grace, grace for yourself, grace for the other person. If we can do that, and if we can choose to actively listen to one another as well, because this isn't just about speaking our truth, it's about listening, hearing truth, open, active communication, I think there are some real opportunities for healing. And I think there are some things that some of us have been sitting on for a long time. And so however you feel called to do that, pay attention to what that looks like, and pay attention to allow that to flow through you in the ways that it wants to flow through you. We're still very much in that open heart energy. And now this week we will shift into Pisces season, which for me is very heart centered as well. So we're going to feel more emotional, more intuitive. I think it's the 17th. The 18th. So tomorrow that we move into that. And so you might find yourself feeling a little bit more intuitive and a little bit more maybe emotional. I think it's the Pisces rising in me, but I love Pisces season. I feel so connected, and I feel so myself and aligned and dreamy. I think there's a lot of dreamy energy that comes with that. So allow all of that to come through, but you also might feel more emotional. And so just honoring what it is that you need, and even communicating with yourself, right? Communication is about with other people, but it's also about communicating with yourself and checking in with yourself and seeing what it is that you need and what it is that you have going on and what's coming up for you. You're probably going to have some triggers happening through these eclipses. So let ourselves be guided through all of that. I was saying last week, I said it in my membership, in my monthly reading, I see this kind of like a magic carpet ride. And all we have to do is to climb onto the magic carpet and to let ourselves be led where we need to go, to be guided where we're meant to be, and trusting that because we're on a magic carpet, that is taking us into really magical places. So let's pull some cards. I have pre-shuffled a little bit, but I'm going to just pull the cards. The Emperor first out, not a surprise there. I will pull the cards and then I'll go back and talk about the messages with the cards. Let me know how this is resonating for you. 5 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles popping out together. I think that you're probably already feeling it. I feel it, the shift out of 3 of Cups, out of the year of the snake and into the year of the fire horse. This is a significant shift. So I love that. All right, let's take a look. So the first card out, we have the Emperor. Yeah, so I think you're going to already feel it. I said in a post that we're not supposed to like clean or like sweep or any of those things today on the Chinese New Year, because it's like energetically sweeping away your luck, essentially. It's driving me crazy because I feel quite energized today. And I just wanted to like do dishes and do things. Like, it's just driving me nuts to have it sitting there, but it'll be okay. I can make it until tomorrow. But my point is, like, with this Emperor, I feel like that Emperor energy is coming in with this year of the fire horse, where it's like we're stuck. And there's so many Aries placements that are happening right now. And over the course of this year, that to me, and Emperor is Aries energy, where it's like we are being invited into leadership, whether it's leadership over our own lives, stepping into leadership role in our work, stepping into leadership roles just in life in general, right? And knowing our value, knowing our worth, and knowing what we bring to the table. So if you're feeling called, compelled to lead in some way, I feel like this is your shot to really shine. This year, I think a lot of people are really going to let themselves shine in ways that they, wouldn't have otherwise. So if you're feeling that call, that pull, that push already, let yourself step into that. This is also about like when you have awareness, like taking action on that, moving forward, getting it done. Like this is the time to build an empire. Like the Emperor has an empire. He's got his hand in a lot of different things, right? He's planted a lot of different seeds and he's doing a lot of things. And you're probably feeling more energized and will feel more energized. So run with it, right? If you know something that you need to be working on, run with it, do it. I've been, you guys know I created these oracle cards that I haven't released yet. And why I haven't released them is because I've been writing the book to go along with it. And I am 95% done with the book. And I did a huge push today because I all of a sudden felt the energy to like just write. So it's like, let the energy come and surf that wave of energy when that comes in to create that success for you. The Emperor is very successful. I think there's a lot of success that's coming with a lot of the things that we're working on if we're paying attention. Now, the 5 of Swords, we might still be seeing things that aren't quite working for us, right? I said we're still in that energy of setting boundaries and determining where we need to set boundaries and determining who and what belongs in our life, in our destiny, in the path that we're going on. Again, eclipses are about putting us on the right path so that we can travel down that path and be as successful as possible, but not everybody belongs on that path. And so some of this is about seeing people or circumstances for what they are. It's that truth, right? So there may be situations that there's deception involved, or you recognize somebody did not have good intentions. And you choose here in this eclipse to let it go, to move forward, to forgive. That doesn't mean that that person gets access to you, but to let go. because we're creating space for amazing things. I didn't even show you guys all the cards. This is an amazing reading. This is an amazing week, an amazing energy. Again, the portal to your destiny is now open. Lean into it and know that you are being led to your destiny. If you don't fight against it, 10 of Pentacles, stability, security, the money that you've been manifesting, the opportunities that you've been manifesting. I always look at, see how in the background there's that image of the tree with the pentacles on it? I always see this as the full grown tree, meaning the fully grown tree of the seeds that were planted. And I do feel like here in this week, we're going to see some of the seeds that we planted, some of the things that we've invested energy in before. It's that karmic return. And all of a sudden we're realizing, oh my gosh, this grew into something really incredible. Maybe it was a relationship that you invested in that is turning into something really incredible. Maybe it's some work or some things that you've just been putting yourself into that you really wanted to work out and they just didn't move forward before. I think this is talking about that's moving forward. There is success. There is abundance. There is prosperity. There is stability, security here. It might also be the question of what do I really want to invest in? Because I think that this energy is going to help us to be very, very clear on that. And what do I not want to invest in? What doesn't contribute to me living a life that's filled with ease? What is not contributing to my stability, my peace? If it costs you your peace, is too expensive, period, in this energy. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. And it creates space for blessings to come into our experience. The Hierophant. We do shift into Pisces season tomorrow. And to me, it's like that opening. It's that channel to spirit, source, divine, God, universe, whatever that is for you. And I've said oftentimes that I feel that this year is also a very spiritual year. And so you might find yourself just connecting a little bit more. And there's advice here with this is to connect a little bit more with the spiritual aspects of yourself. We are spiritual beings as well. And it's so important that we're fostering that. And you might have that realization this week, like, I've got to do that. Investing energy into that is a really good thing to invest your energy into. That's way better than obsessing over the past and the way that things happen and over things that you can't change. Right? So deepening our connection with that. And maybe we're finding and connecting with other people who foster that within us as well, who make us think differently, who help to expand our minds, who help to offer new perspectives, new ideas, new experiences, new beliefs. Can we be open to that? Three of Cups. I think there's a lot of good surprises in this energy. And I think there's a lot of things that we will be celebrating, whether it's these little internal wins that you know is a big deal for you, even if anybody on the outside would have no idea. I think there's a lot of those little wins that are happening, that will be happening. But this is also beautiful opportunities coming in that you're like, finally it happened. There's a lot of finally it happened this week and over the course of the next couple of weeks. So you may find yourself celebrating more, and there's an invitation to do that as well, right? To surround yourself with the people that celebrate you, that make you feel good to share, like that want to talk about your wins. Being really mindful about the people that we surround ourselves with, because that impacts our energy significantly. You don't want to invest your energy in that right now. You want to invest your energy in people who make you laugh, who lift you up, who bring out the best in you, who challenge you in really good ways, and who you can have fun and be playful with. This is so important in this energy. And speaking of that, of connecting with people, the year of the horse is a very heart-centered energy. So is Pisces energy. And so is this energy that I'm feeling right now. And so here we have the Two of Cups. So this is a coming together in some way. I feel like we've pulled the Two of Cups quite a bit recently. And so this is a coming together. This is I say that the Two of Cups sometimes is like that missing piece that we're looking for. So it can be in a person, it can be in a situation where you're like trying to figure out what's going to make this thing move forward, what's going to create success for me. And then all of a sudden, the person comes in who is the missing link to that, or the answer comes in that is the missing link to it. So this doesn't have to be a connection. And it certainly doesn't have to be a romantic connection. It can be friendships as well, or somebody coming in, a coworker coming in to support you with something that you're working on that gives you exactly what it is that you need. It might be you doing that for other people, and or both. I do feel like in this energy, though, there's a lot of opportunity for destined encounters to reconnect or connect with the people that are meant to be in your world. And so this is an invitation to be open to that. People might be circling back around, and if they don't feel different, if they're not showing up as the best version of themselves, then that's not for you, right? Like then that's this Five of Swords, like let it go. That doesn't belong. But if they are showing up and they're wanting to create stability with you, they're wanting to show you the best of them in your life, and want to invite that from you, that can be a really beautiful thing. So be open, and be open to surprise meetings, this is all about destiny, right? So to destined meetings of new people, new love, new friendships, new experiences that turn out to be, with a little bit of time, exactly what it is that you need. So many blessings, so many gifts, so many opportunities coming in this energy. And I love it. I think it's really exciting, but hang in there. Be mindful of those WTF moments. Don't let them get you. Know that you're good, you're solid, you're supported, and there's a lot of beautiful stuff that's happening now and will be happening now, even if you don't understand that what's happening now is meant for you. So just pay attention to all of it. Let it all unfold. And don't try to force any outcomes. Don't try to control anything. Just as best you can detach and let the magic unfold. All right. Thank you guys so much. I will see you soon with another video. I love you all. Hi, Erin. Nice to see you here. Thank you guys for commenting. If you're watching on the replay, please say hello. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Like this video, share this video with somebody who needs to hear these messages, who you know would really resonate with them. And I appreciate all of that. It just helps these videos to get to where they need to be and to connect with the people who need them. All right. I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye.